This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Try the onside kick. It's laying around. Got to pick it up, and it's loose on the ground. Who's gonna get it? Oh, the Bears have it. Go! Are you serious? On the right hash, Daniel Whelan the hold. The kick is blocked. It is blocked. The Browns get the swat and turn the Packers away. And the kick is no good.
Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't tell them to go up.
Sorry, I'm just dancing over here. Just dancing.
Oh, I think that's okay.
Can you cue up that celebration song?
Yeah, I can give you that.
Yeah, we should probably do that. Inside Wisconsin Sports. What's up, Wisconsin? Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are not celebrating a man needing to potentially move his family and sell his home. Wonderful
Correct.
Community member.
Correct.
I know multiple people that have met Rich Bisaccia in person who said, phenomenal guy. Players love Rich Bisaccia.
Mm-hmm.
However, we got to get a new special teams coordinator. And for that, my friend, I believe there should be a celebration. What do you think, Wisconsin? Let's start to react. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. I think it's a dancing worthy type of day. I like change, especially with our special teams.
Yeah, my hips are moving. I didn't know if they
Yeah,
were.
I can see it.
But they are.
If I would not watch us on YouTube right now where we're live or Twitter. Wow, that's those moves.
I want to point out he can only see the top half too. He's just assuming how bad the bottom half looks right now.
Well, if it looks anything like the top half. Oh, I'm sweating already. Let's go.
It's gonna be a day.
Woo!
I'm just gonna let everyone know. It's gonna be a day today.
First text message in. Hallelujah. Bisaccia is gone.
Yes.
And now we're on to our fourth special teams coach in 7 years. Hashtag stability.
Now, I think that's a very important point. Okay, is that, and I love that you opened the show by saying we are not celebrating the fact that Rich Bisaccia, the man, the person,
correct,
is no longer a part of the Packers family. That is not the case. It is, we looked at a huge problem, and the Open showed a few examples of the problems that this Packers team faced. And here's my big take, because I had a lot of people yesterday, Trevor, a lot of people, we're gonna get into this, into the weeds throughout the show. I had a lot of people that literally texted me before I reacted on Twitter. They texted me and said, how have you not tweeted anything yet? Like, are you sleeping? Did you not see this?
Just letting it sink in.
And I was like, here's the thing. This isn't like I'm out drinking, celebrating, partying. It's, we can now start to truly identify and try to fix the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There were plenty of people defending Rich Bisaccia yesterday, saying, I can't wait for Packers fans to find out it wasn't Rich Bisaccia, it was a system problem. You're right. And guess what? As long as Rich Bisaccia was there, we'd never find that out. It was a necessary first step to try to fix the issue. I'm sorry to Rich Bisaccia, but that was the catalyst. You had to knock that first domino down first.
Listen to us. We're sorry, Rich. Oh, wait, you stepped down?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Right.
Well, I mean, I guess we're sorry, but saying we're sorry would mean that it wasn't your call, but it clearly was Rich Bisaccia's call. That's what they said anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's play catch up. Here we go.
Packers.
That's the news.
Yeah. News.
Can you make it over there? You choking
know
on your
that.
own air?
Yeah. That's the news of the day, period.
Yeah.
We haven't had Packers news in a couple of days, and now that's the news of the day, period.
All right. So the Packers announced Tuesday, that's yesterday, that Rich Bisaccia stepped down from his roles as assistant head coach and special teams coordinator. This will now be the fourth special teams coordinator in what will be Matt LaFleur's 8th year at head coach. Let's review quickly. Sean Menenja from 2019 to 2020. Moved on from him, I believe. Maurice Drayton, 2021. He was promoted from within to special teams coordinator. He gone. Then Rich Bisaccia from 22 till now the 2025 season. And the timing, Josh, is I tweeted very simply. I have questions. By the way, follow us on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW, at On Air Josh, at WI Sports Radio, and at Inside Wiss Sports. I have questions.
Yes, there are questions. Absolutely. And the timing is definitely one of them. For that and multiple other reasons, I've got my tinfoil hat on today, questioning a lot of things. But I think you just read off that list, and you said Mo Drayton. Like, if that name doesn't send shivers down your spine, thinking about that game against San Francisco with that blocked punt that essentially lost them the game. And then we brought Rich Bisaccia in, and we went, that's it. Special teams needs to be a top priority now for this organization. It didn't become one. It got slightly better. And so it was just, and he was here for a while. How long was Rich here?
Well, 2022 was his first season.
Yeah. Yeah. So 3 seasons. And
he was hired on February 28th, 2022. Let's think about that for a hot second.
Yeah.
It's February 18th. And a lot of the reaction was, cool. I thought we needed change. So cool. And, everybody's gone.
yeah, scramble. You're looking at who's available. It's nobody.
And that's the question. So let's give Rich the benefit of the doubt. He's 65. Maybe he saw the writing on the wall. He did not want to go through a rebuild. Maybe he met with the staff. Brian Gutekunst said, when you lose the last 5 games, everybody and everything is on the table. LaFleur said that. So maybe they really did go through all of it here in the last few weeks. And Rich said, guys, I don't agree with where we're going. So I got to walk. And so be it, if that's the case.
Do you think in any way, shape, or form that the voice of Packers fans made an impact if it truly was his decision to step down? And the team didn't give him a nudge. The team didn't say, hey, Rich, like, we're either going to be changing your title, but keeping you on as an advisor or something. Like, do you think that the fan base at all got to him to where he said, you know what? I'm good. I'm good calling it.
If our show is of any, I don't know the word. Here's what I think. Earlier, yeah, maybe so. Not the last few weeks.
Yeah.
It was real loud right after the playoff game. Really loud. And then it went away. I mean, my patience, remember my patience speech? Josh, be patient. They're going to move. Everything's going to change. Don't really worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, that was wrong until yesterday. And a little bit last week when his assistant moved on. That's the interesting part about it. So therefore, I actually partly really do believe that this is either him stepping down or him getting the option to step down versus just get fired. There was some conversation that he was going to retire, and maybe that was going to be the reason he wasn't going to be back. But Josh, I mean, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250, went completely silent about all things Packers changes because there were really no changes that weren't forced upon us.
Yeah, it was a lot of grumbling under our breath and going, well, I guess this is how it's going to be. Grumble, grumble.
They're going to run it back.
Yeah, well, great. Can't wait to see that. Grumble.
Right.
Right.
And now here we are, February 18th, without a special teams coordinator or a special teams assistant coordinator. And we're like, huh, why not? Yeah, okay, cool. And y'all better have a plan.
Well, and that's why the tinfoil hat is going on and why you have questions, because I remember when we lost the assistant and what did we say when, and I'm forgetting his name, but the assistant special teams coordinator who then went to take that special teams coach job in Cleveland. We said, Cleveland, why don't you want Rich? Rich could have gone with you, though. That was what we were saying after that news was announced. But that story comes out, and then when we're assuming Rich Bisaccia is not going anywhere, now the decision comes. I wonder if the fact that he lost the kid under him made a decision. I would love to figure out what it was that played the biggest role of him saying now, because if he was truly trying to help the team, right? If it was ending on good terms of, hey, this is going to be it, make a decision of who's going to replace me, I'm going to step down. You don't wait until this point. You don't wait until everyone else pretty much knows where they're working next year.
We have questions. We will get to all of yours, including your notes. I mentioned Josh. He was hired February 8th, 2022. I was told there would be no math, but 22, 20, I'm using my fingers, 23, 24, 4 seasons. 4 seasons for Rich Bisaccia.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me take off my shoes quick, hang on.
Yeah.
And now we get a fresh start. And this will be the 8th one. Nope, this will be the 4th one in 8 years. That is worthy of conversation, along with your questions and your continued feedback. The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line is literally rolling on my screen. Just we'll get to all of them. 414-677-1250. This is a topic, and I have questions. This is a topic in the morning mind dump. It's going to be a topic probably with Doug Gottlieb, because nothing's off the table with Doug Gottlieb, who we'll have for 2 segments today, starting at 8 a.m. He's got some news to share. But nonetheless, Rich Bisaccia out, according to reports, and the Packers on his own accord. And we move on.
Brewers.
I don't think Mark Attanasio gives a you-know-what about whether we think he should spend more money or not.
Yeah. And so he did a little media availability yesterday. And I want to start by just asking, how do you think Mark looked? He looked, I was like, he looked a little disheveled to me personally. And I didn't know if that was just, because he's kind of in his I don't care era, or
21 seasons, right?
Yeah, right. And but that thought, when it popped into my mind, very much aligned with his answer to some of the questions, including the one from Dario about that spending.
Yeah, it would have bothered me a while ago, but I don't regard that. I really don't get a lot of that type of commentary from local media. I hear it more nationally, and I worry about the club and the city and the state. I want to be genuine with our fans and have them understand what we do and why we do it, and have confidence in us, and that's my focus.
Do you want him to look like a gazillionaire and not spend money, or do you want him to wear a hoodie and care about Milwaukee and the state and our fans?
100%, right? Listen, it's not a Take Back Tuesday, and I'm definitely not there because, man, I have ridden the Mark Attanasio needs to find his checkbook train more than many others. But like looking at what the Brewers have done over the last however many seasons, the people that Mark Attanasio has put in place, the culture he's created is hard to not be happy with.
Right.
We just want a World Series ring. I know that every team does. That's why you play. But it's not like if I lived in Cincinnati, they aren't also saying we want a World Series ring. Like that's the goal, right? That's what every team is going through. And so I thought it was kind of interesting how cool, calm, and collected he was in that answer to Dario, especially if you watch the video of just being like, yeah, listen, I mostly hear it from those national guys. And the way that he said that totally felt like a small walkie
Aw.
answer of like, you get it. We also hate those national guys.
Yeah.
Like, does anyone in the state of Wisconsin say, man, I really love, national reporting? No.
Do you imagine if he would have dropped a Shams something or other? Well,
right?
What I know Shams wants me to spend more money.
Yeah, right. Like, so the fact that he approached it in that way, I felt like, oh, that hit me. I get that. I'm with you on that.
Did you see what he said about the succession plan?
No. What'd he say?
Okay. Very fascinating. So MLB has asked clubs to submit succession plans, and the Brewers are working on theirs. He said, as in Mark Antanasio, that his sons, Dan and Mike, will be involved and that he intends to eventually pass control to them. How do you feel about that?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, whose checkbook are they going to get? That's what I want to know.
Right. But also, like, do they care about baseball? Do they like Milwaukee? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, You see one of his sons pretty involved. Did his son start singing the national anthem when Mark's dad passed away?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Somebody was somebody's involved. Yeah, I don't know if it's Dan. I follow one of them on Twitter. I just don't know which one. Is it Dan or Mike? Nonetheless, Brewers are off and running at spring training. It's cool to see all of the local media here in Wisconsin down there chatting with guys. Coming up in the most electrifying sound of the day, we will hear from the new third baseman?
Question mark? I'm Ron Burgundy. Yes.
On to the Badgers.
Badgers.
Whoops.
Oh, boy.
Whoops. Is it our fault? Where's Trevor's troll? I was fully expecting him to have a text this morning.
He hit snooty.
So.
I think it's just interesting how quickly the world of sports can change.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Coming into yesterday, we're playing free bird a billion times because the U.S. keeps dominating. They're winning golds. They're doing whatever. Yesterday, not a great day for the Olympics. Okay, well, hey, this Badgers team, they are crushing. They are in the top 25 now. They are making a name for themselves. Lay an egg.
Against Ohio State. 69 at Ohio State last night. It didn't start well for me. My YouTube TV wasn't working at all.
I saw that.
Not happy.
Yeah.
I was like, here we go again. Thanks for working it out with Disney. Now, if you could just, let me sign back in for whatever dumb reason you signed me out, that'd be wonderful. And here's the dumb. My son is in his room watching the Badger game on TV. And I'm out in our living room going, why won't it work out here? I open up my computer. I figure out I can watch the Badger game there. Still can't sign in on my TV. I have no idea what happened. I'm here. There he is. Holy crap. Trevor's troll listens every freaking day. And he immediately goes, I'm here. Oh, I'm here.
He didn't even troll you. It just was like present.
But yet that's somehow a troll. Even that's almost scarier.
Yeah. I love that. So hold on, go back to this TV thing for a second.
I didn't understand what happened.
So it was just on the TV?
It was only on my TV, and it wasn't on all of our TVs, and it wasn't on my computer, yet I couldn't sign in to YouTube TV on my computer to make my TV work. It was very odd. It was working here in the studio this morning.
Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Sure, that was right there. I was right there. That was next.
That's always supposed to be the first thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the 262. Of course. I can't believe it took more than 10 seconds. 262 online says, Matt LaFleur spoke to the Badgers. Now they're wrecked. Can't wait for another Packers season.
My God. That is unbelievable.
We did say, hey, Matt, Badgers doing good right now. They don't need
literally that. People on Twitter were like, well, get him out of there. Get him away from the team.
What
man.
About if this Badgers team spirals after that? Oh, God.
Oh, man. If that's the case, you and I couldn't be on spring break the right week
soon enough. Yeah.
Seriously.
Woof.
What are the odds of that? Yep. Totally laid an egg last night. I mean, the defense apparently didn't make the team bus. Free throws were a mess. Rebounding, we got out-rebounded by Ohio State, +8 on the glass. Nick Boyd, John Blackwell, 14 points each. When they don't each score 20, apparently, that doesn't end well for our Badgers basketball team.
No.
Moving on to the Bucks.
Bucks.
Do you see the audio entitled Pivot?
Yep.
Why don't you just play that one real quick?
Here we go. Pivot, 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 pivot.
Pivot.
I think there's going to be a pivot in our future. Let's replay the audio onto the honest story that shocked a little bit of us yesterday when the rest of the story came out. Josh and I played this audio and had some conversation about it yesterday.
We've had a lot of interviews over the years.
Yes.
One of them was in 2021. It was right after you won a championship. You said to me, we might never win another one. It's fine. I'd rather do it this way, win one this way, than go anywhere else and win 2 or 3. How do you reflect on that now?
When you've had a bite of a really good steak, and all of a sudden you go somewhere else, so time goes by and you're just having the big steaks in front of you and it's just like not good, and you know how that steak feel, you want that steak again. But that's where you got to come to the realization that what if that feeling is, I won't feel it again and stay in Milwaukee, and are you okay with that? And the answer is no, I'm not.
Okay, the answer is no. And then that was the end of the conversation with Malika Andrews and ESPN.
Yep.
Thanks for the audio. So now the rest of the story. And another 4.5-ish minute clip came out from her yesterday with more of the conversation. And Josh, I might surprise you here. I have more respect for Giannis Antetokounmpo today than I've had this entire saga.
Whoa.
Okay. Because of what we're about to hear. And I want you guys to listen closely what he said about a championship in Milwaukee. Go ahead.
You're not okay with staying in Milwaukee and never having that feeling?
No. I want to win, but the most important thing, I want to win a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. And if that's not on the table or in the plans, so that's when you kind of like, okay, maybe I got to pivot because I really want to win.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you hear him say about championship in Milwaukee Bucks? It was a little, he kind of, I don't know, he didn't stutter. He just lost his voice in the middle of that for a second.
Yeah. It sounded to me like it was a clarification first. Of, hey, I'm telling everyone right now, yes, I want to win. I just said I want to win. You asked me for clarification. I said yes, but.
No, he said, but I'm glad you missed that.
With the Milwaukee Bucks.
With the Milwaukee Bucks. I want to win another championship with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't, because of whatever circumstances happen in this organization, then I will have to pivot.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
See, I personally, though, I'm sitting here going, I feel like he said that a bunch. That's why it's so tough for him, because what he wants might
say
not
that
happen.
a bunch? Have you seen him? That matters, man. I know that there's amazing reporting in the local papers, but seeing Giannis have his hands in, I want to win a championship, and he was with the Milwaukee Bucks, that changes things.
Yeah,
I
agree with that. Fine.
He talked about who his little inner circle is, if you will, who his camp is. At the end of the day, that right there was all I was asking for from Giannis throughout this entire thing. And finally, yesterday, we got it.
So now, are you saying that regardless of the next report, because you know there will be one, that says Giannis should go here, this is going to be the biggest move, can you finally admit like all of that does not matter?
No, it's the opposite. Now it matters more than ever before.
Oh.
He just said, if I can't win one here in Milwaukee, I'll have to pivot. So finally, Giannis said, I am committed to Milwaukee. I want to win a championship here. Stop. Hard stop, right? End quote, period, whatever they say. And if I can't, I'll have to pivot. What he was finally saying was, I want to win here. And if I can't, I'm not going to be here anymore. And that changed. And props to Malika, who went right at it, played the audio, showed him the tape from 2021 and exactly what he said. What's changed, Josh? One major, major thing. What's changed with the Milwaukee Bucks since they won the championship? And it's not players.
What? Doc Rivers coaching?
Ownership.
Well, partially. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ownership.
I mean,
president.
I don't know. It's for me, I even listening to that clip, it's still the same story.
Man.
It's still
it's
Giannis
amazing how we can listen to the same thing and get two separate things out.
Giannis loves Milwaukee. He's always loved Milwaukee. He loves winning more. And he knows that if he has to leave Milwaukee, it's going to suck for him, his family, and everything that he's built here. He doesn't want it.
And he finally said he was willing to pivot on camera.
Right. That's the only thing that changed, is that it wasn't from a reporter. You saw Giannis say it.
Bingo. That's it. That's the tweet.
Sure.
That's it.
It's kind of just, okay, so there's your validation for those that doubted the local reporting. Now you can see it from Giannis himself.
That's all we were asking for, though, man. Literally, that's all we were asking for. And it wasn't so much as we were doubting the reporting as much as we believed and wanted to see. All we had was reporting.
Sure.
And now we saw it. And I'm honestly, I'm very grateful. I was very, very grateful for that clip yesterday. And as I mentioned, I have more respect for Giannis today than I did the previous month and a half, or maybe 2 months. All right, we're late. Anything else?
Yeah, I was going to say, we got to get going.
Anything else?
Doug Gottlieb has not said a word to anybody, myself included. I was getting reached out to by local media last night, Josh, here in Green Bay, going, all right, Trev, like, you must know something. Sure don't. I called Doug last night. I got his voicemail. I sent Doug a text last night. He didn't respond. And my alarm went off at 4 a.m. And the text I sent last night said, hey, DG, checking in on you, man. Big meeting. I'm just double checking that we are good to go for 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, because I think it was a pretty big day for him. And I woke up to a text at 4 a.m. that said, yep, we'll see Doug Gottlieb today at 8 a.m.
Oh, boy.
On Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios that are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Nobody else has talked to Doug or heard from Doug in his meeting after the meltdown. We will get it straight from the source at 8 a.m. today. Up next, I have questions, clearly, and so do you. Back in a bit on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Don't go anywhere. Packers special teams coordinator and assistant head coach Rich Bisaccia stepped down from his position yesterday. This afternoon, Packers punter Daniel Whelan will join Sparky at 4 on Wisconsin Sports Daily on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Don't miss that. Right now, I have questions.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it? Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. It's time to ask questions, and there's a couple things that we need answers to today. One, Rich Bisaccia, but two, the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association did what?
Yeah, it's time for everyone to put on their tinfoil hats and join me here. Because I'm telling you, this is the craziest story that comes out of nowhere. So, first and foremost, if you don't know who Tony Clark is, that's fine. I didn't know he was the executive director of the MLBPA either. Right.
Nobody did.
However,
let's be real, Josh. What's the only reason this is a story?
Well, the first reason why it was, before it got layered, was because everyone is fearing lockout.
Right.
Everyone is looking at there isn't going to be baseball in 2027. We have talked about that a lot with these prospects of, well, maybe the Brewers are doing something because they know there's not going to be a full season in 2027. That could be part of it, right? Okay. Then, out of nowhere, it gets reported yesterday, Jeff Passan had a lot of this here, that says Tony Clark plans to resign as executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association. Clark's resignation comes in the wake of the Eastern District of New York's investigation into alleged financial improprieties at the union. So there was already investigations happening within the MLBPA. Then we know that there's a storm coming that I don't know that I'd want to necessarily deal with this impending lockout between the league and the Players Association. And that was my first thought, right? I got the tinfoil hat on. I'm going, oh, this guy didn't want that smoke. This guy went, no, I'm good here. Then it comes out, Jeff Passan says 5 hours later, tweets, MLBPA Executive Director Tony Clark resigned after an internal investigation revealed he had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law who had been hired by the union in 2023. What? This is the craziest story of just what is going on. It is that story of I don't know if you've a millennial. You talk through memes and GIFs. The GIF of the guy that enters the room going, "Hey, I've got pizza," and the place is on fire and furniture is broken and people are shouting at each other. That's what this is. It's like you're just walking into the room going, I wonder what's going on in baseball news today. And the room is on fire and people are throwing things at each other. And now it's, okay, let's deep dive into what this. I have questions. First of all, why did this all come to light now? Why did this all come to light like before the start of this season? Well, with the investigation. You
can connect dots on that.
Okay.
Real quick. The bargaining is set to begin in regards to what all this looks like in terms of ramping up to the labor agreement expiring on December 1st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. All of all right, time to get our stuff together, starts in April.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah. So if they were going to have to make a change based on everything that was happening with the investigation, they were going to make it pretty quick. And then the moron decides to ruin his life in a completely different way.
Correct.
And goes, you know what? We're just going to make a change now. Bruce Meyer, who is the deputy executive director, will be the guy.
But this is the thing it's about timing, right? And that's kind of the theme of today. We're talking about Rich Bisaccia and him deciding to step down, and we're going weird
Put your
timing.
tinfoil hat back on and play your music.
I haven't. It's been on. It's still on. But to the point, I'm saying, okay, so you're telling me that out of nowhere, this was the time where the legal system, the investigations, they all found, yep, hey, we've been looking for information on the MLBPA and them not doing what they're supposed to with money. And a month before they got to start making decisions, this comes out. The reason why I think it's interesting is because we see this all the time from reporters and those insiders that maybe have a story. They've been holding on to the story, waiting for the right time to drop it. And then they do. And it's like, boom, this isn't breaking news. You're just choosing to drop that bomb. This felt like hey, we're a month out. We've been holding on to this as the investigation. Send the bomb, drop it. And I think they had all this. It's crazy. Like, let me put it this way. The affair by itself would have ended his job. It would have ended his career, right? Like, you do those things in that type of job, they're not going to be like slap on the wrist, right? Like, those are things where they're like,
especially when money's involved.
They're like, well, I'm saying, yeah. But it's like, so, okay, your sister-in-law and the sister-in-law, by the way, worked for the union.
That's my point.
Right.
Money's involved in some sort of scam behind the scenes, allegedly.
That on its own, reason to be like, okay, you're done. Like, this is done. But for that all to come out on top of this investigation into the whole financial side of things a month ahead of time has me now going, how long were they sitting on this? And are they talking to the MLB? Are they on the MLB side of trying to fight this lockout? It is just the craziest story, and more than just what happened, it has me questioning how much stuff are like these bigger sports entities just sitting on, waiting
tip of the iceberg
for the right time. It made me think about the gambling
stuff that came out last year. Yeah.
And when they dropped that news, it's crazy, man.
Oh, and then Rich Bisaccia steps down, finger quotes. There's your tinfoil hat on that. I know you're a realist.
Yes.
I didn't expect you to be a conspiracy theorist.
Usually I'm not. But I have questions. Like, this is confusing to me on the timing of all of this.
We're going to break that entire thing down this morning, the best to our ability, and get your feedback and answer your questions in the morning mind dump coming up at the top of the hour, because the timing doesn't make sense. Him stepping down doesn't make sense. Is he angry that his assistant left? Those are questions. Was he forced out? Did he retire? Why now? Who are we going to hire? Is this really the fix?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with the system? Did Matt LaFleur screw up the Badgers? I mean, there's a lot of things that we're questioning in regard to the tin foil hat that seems to be over Lambeau Field right now.
I will tell you, though, it's still Rich Bisaccia having a much better day yesterday than Tony Clark did.
Yeah. Unless some bombshell comes out about that, but I do not.
Oh, yeah.
That
and that is not what we're saying.
No, that is absolutely not what we're saying. Pun intended. Let's punt, shall we? Off to break.
Yes.
When we come back, the most electrifying sound of the day. Let's get back to baseball and chat with the new Brewers third baseman up next. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Punt! Punt!
It's time for
The most electrifying
sound of the day.
The most electrifying
On Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
What do you know about the Brewers?
They go to the playoff all the time. It's a fun group to watch them play when I play another team, and it's really good. It looks like a family.
That was Luis Rengifo, the Brewers' new third baseman, or wherever they need him to play, talking to the media for the first time down at the Brewers' spring training facility. It is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress, connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. On Twitter yesterday, Trevor, there were plenty of clips talking about just, him answering questions from the media about various things.
Yeah.
Specifically about where he's going to play, being playing third base. And he answered those questions and he said, I'll play wherever, I'm just want to help the team, gave those type of answers. But I thought that answer was really interesting. And that's why I chose it for the most electrifying sound, because as Brewers fans in our small market world, we are in the weeds of it. But to hear a player who played in LA, not for the Dodgers, but played in LA, and just saying, what do you know about the Brewers? On a national level, playing in the league, what do you know about this team? And the first thing he says is they go to the playoffs a lot.
Amazing. So isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
We look at this as a fan and go, so?
We want to win. So what? Right. And so to hear that is really interesting, because I feel like, that wasn't always the case. It used to be they're a young, energetic team. They're hungry. You're giving those type of answers, to where now if you have a baseball player that is the first thing out of his mouth of what he knows about this team is that they go to the playoffs a lot, that to me is proof that you have established a winning culture in Milwaukee.
How do you say his last name?
Rengifo.
It's impressive, because I was like, Rengifo? Nope.
Oh, trust me, it's taken me a while to get there.
Venezuela to the Mariners system, Mariners to the Rays in a trade, Rays to the Angels in a trade. Angels debut in the MLB and then had 7 seasons of switch hitting utility as a starter and moved all over the place. And they asked him that too yesterday about him playing third. And then now in free agency to the Brewers. So when you hear a player say, well, they go to the playoffs all the time, how does that make us feel?
To me, it was a little bit of a wake-up call. It's kind of like if you ever ask someone, just a regular person on the street, someone finds out you live in Wisconsin and they go, oh, do you live on a farm? Oh, do you make cheese? They say like one of these things and you're like, no, I live in a city that is like any other city. I don't know.
Buildings.
Right. It's you want to get that general idea. What is your general thought on this team? To have the first thing he said about it be, this team goes to the playoffs a lot. Not this passionate fan base, a fun atmosphere, city that loves baseball. None of that. It's, here's what I know about this team. I see them in the postseason a lot. That's something that we should hang our hats on. If other players in the league are looking at the Brewers organization as free agents and saying, I'm not going to get paid Dodger money, Met money, Yankee money, but if I want to win, the Brewers are a good option. That's a good way. We should be happy with that.
Yep. Which kind of makes us as fans go, maybe we have it better than we think we do right now. How quickly we forget where this franchise was for decades.
True.
Same thing with the Packers, right? We all want a Super Bowl. We all want a World Series. But the journey is the reward, or something like that. And we have to be aware of that as the seasons go on and the wins pile up and the disappointments at the end of the season happen to every single team but one.
Yep.
And yet you get a guy who's been all over the place in major markets in Major League Baseball, says, yeah, this team's fun group to be around, and they're in the playoffs a lot. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Like, I'm blushing a little bit.
Outstanding. All right, the morning mind dump is next, and there's so much to process with this whole Rich Bisaccia piece from yesterday In case you missed it, I have questions about that. And Rich Bisaccia steps down yesterday as special teams coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. Timing is weird. We will break that down next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. The Mind Dump is next. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to go along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Try the onside kick. It's laying around. Got to pick it up, and it's loose on the ground. Who's going to get it? Oh, the Bears have it. Are you serious? On the right hash, Daniel wheeling the hold. The kick is blocked. It is blocked. The Browns get the swat and turn the Packers away. And the kick is no good.
Well, if you needed a reason, that was a reminder as to why change may be good for the Green Bay Packers. The news yesterday, Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coordinator, stepping down from his assistant head coach and special teams coordinator position. And that, according to some, would be cause for a celebration. And it is, in terms of being a Packers fan from a coaching perspective. And that's one thing that Josh and I, by the way, good morning, Wisconsin. Welcome back. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
That's one thing that Josh and I really try hard to delineate in the line. That Rich Bisaccia, an incredible man, husband, father, community member. I mentioned at the top of the 6 o'clock hour that I know numerous people that have come across Rich Bisaccia in our community and have nothing but phenomenal things to say about the man.
But
sports radio hat.
Right.
Thank God.
Yes.
We needed this.
Yes. There's so much to cover with this, too. If there was ever a time when there was good news that we still needed to process and get thoughts out of our heads and off of our chest, it would be now.
This is my second coffee. It's kicked in. Let's go.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food. We've got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the morning mind dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. Doug Gottlieb coming up at 8 a.m. Going to be with us for 2 segments to give us all of the behind-the-scenes stuff from what the kids would call a crash out over the weekend. And first, holy moly, Lambeau Field, Rich Bisaccia stepping down as special teams coordinator.
Yeah.
Your reaction, your thoughts, your questions, your concerns. Let's just have a little Packers therapy session, shall we?
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. The 262 says, you guys better mark this day down and have a Take Back Tuesday during the Packers season when our special teams still suck. All right, let's start there.
Yeah, absolutely, because I got a rebuttal to that one.
Well, let's at least lay out some facts. This will be, whoever the new special teams coordinator is, the 4th special teams coordinator in Matt LaFleur's system. That's concerning to me. That we have had 4 different special teams coordinators since Matt LaFleur started his coaching career here in Green Bay, which we're going into the 8th season of. I don't have a comparison of what this is supposed to look like or what it does on other teams. I'm just looking at this from our own perspective, and I'm going, why can't Matt LaFleur, as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, consistently keep someone in that seat?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. It all goes back to him at some level. His fault? I don't know. What's the real problem? I don't know. Is it, somebody asked me, where does it start and stop with talent? It was this morning. I do a sports hit on a different radio station in the building, and they're like, well, was it his fault? I don't know.
Right.
But sometimes change is good for the sake of change. And after 4 years with Rich Bisaccia as special teams coordinator, it was time for change.
And I think that this is, and we appreciate all the texts. Keep them coming on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. But to the point that 262 made of, you guys better mark this date and have a Take Back Tuesday, there will not be a point. And this might have been just a lose-lose situation for Rich Bisaccia. But there will not come a point when I can take back that we were excited that Rich Bisaccia was let go. Because I'm not saying that this was all Rich's fault. I'm saying the special teams is a problem, and it has been a problem. His title was special teams coach. That was his area, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a business has a problem, they will go to the person who's in charge of that area where the problem exists. It's probably a bigger problem than Rich Bisaccia. I do not think that Rich Bisaccia just being gone, now the Packers are going to have a top 10 special teams next year. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that change was necessary for things to start to get better. I wanted to see Ed Policy make a change and not, quote unquote, run it back. I didn't want him to say, nah, I'm just going to keep everything the same. You three keep doing what you're doing. He did. If you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. That's the tough part. Rich Bisaccia might have been a catalyst to all of this. Unfortunately for him, maybe not. Maybe Rich was the problem. I don't think he was the main problem. What I'm saying is there's no way that if Rich Bisaccia stays the special teams coach, the Packers organization can have that true issue exposed and then fix it and then hold that person or that group of people responsible for the problem. He had to go first. Now we can start to heal, move on, and find out, okay, we removed the first layer. Did we find the issue? No. Let's keep digging. You can't find the second and third layer. You can't go through those if you don't remove the first one.
Well, and Rich Bisaccia's number one assistant gone too. Let's not forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Byron Storer to the Cleveland Browns as their special teams coordinator. And this is where we get to talk about conspiracy theories. Was him leaving the plan in case Rich left? Maybe. Rich is leaving. Now he's gone. What's the plan?
Right.
We didn't make a change soon enough at that position in order to go after key talent that was out in the space of head/coaches that were coordinators in different areas. And so now we got that to put up with. Did he really step down? Was he politely let go? If so, why now? What was what did you get out of 2 weeks? And will it be the fix? These are all things that we don't have answers for, yet we're definitely going to talk about.
Right. Maybe the problem is that Brian Gutekunst isn't focusing on special teams when drafting or bringing in players. That could be it. But
that was part of the conversation this morning is, do we actually have special teams players or do we draft other players for other positions? Clearly we do. And we hope they can impact on special teams. And if there is a part of the roster that turns over the most, it's that one. But to your point, spot on, we're talking about a philosophy. There's something wrong, and there are philosophical differences in terms of what Matt LaFleur and the Packers organization believe their special teams should be and where they're at. Now, Goody came out in his presser and said he was really happy with Rich Bisaccia and where certain sections of the special teams performed. Coverage, yards allowed, making kicks, not one of them. And nobody saw that coming. Daniel Whelan, one of the best punters in the game. So and everybody would say, well, guys, come on. It's not Rich's fault that Romeo didn't catch the ball. The 906 says it's ridiculous. If Romeo catches the ball, he catches 99 out of 100 times. The whole year is different, and Rich is still the head coach. Maybe. There was a lot of
coach.
other things. Did he say head coach?
No. He said it's still coach.
Oh, yeah, still coach.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it didn't happen. And sometimes change for the sake of change is good. What are they? You know what rolls downhill.
Mm-hmm.
This may very well be that thing. Now, what concerns me more is why that position of all of the positions, even though the defensive coordinator, ironically, has changed almost as many times.
Mm-hmm.
Won't this be our fourth defensive coordinator under Matt LaFleur as well?
Might be.
I believe it is. Somebody was before Joe Barry, named, not on the top of my head. Then it was Hafley, and now it'll be somebody else. Because when the first move was made, Dom Capers? I might have got that right.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll have our fourth DC. Now, here's the
Mike
the weird
Pettin.
part.
You forgot Mike Pettin.
So is this 5 under Matt LaFleur?
Dom Capers, Mike Pettin, Joe Barry, Jeff Hafley.
That's all under Matt LaFleur. Dom Capers?
Dom Capers was out in 2017.
Okay, so no, that's when Matt started in 2019, 2018, something like that. All right, so this will be the fourth. Now, the reason this is worthy of conversation, why aren't our pets' heads falling off about defensive coordinator positions?
Because we're looking at it, they're leaving not because of poor performance or...
Well, but Rich is stepping down.
Right, but I'm saying Jeff Hafley moved on to he got promoted. He took someone wanted him. He was stolen the same way that our assistant special teams coordinator was stolen and went to the Browns. That's a different situation than stepping down.
In comparison, though,
being fired, resigning.
Hafley left on his own, and Bisaccia stepped down. I understand what the conversation is, Josh, but at the end of the day, there's reasons why we as fans look at special teams and go, we need change. And yet there's been just numbers, just as much change at the defensive coordinator position. And yet we're excited about what could be based on players. Maybe this goes back to your point, Josh, of it really does come down to players and them doing the things that special teams need them to do. And maybe that's one of the harder positions on the football field, and we just don't know it.
Yeah, listen, my guess is, if anything, that the Packers organization, Goody being a part of it, isn't, when looking at the draft and the offseason, putting as much emphasis on specifically signing players that can just do special teams, which then that's a Goody problem, right? Now we shift our focus to, okay, is Goody the reason why special teams hasn't been working? My point is, though, that we could never have gotten there and seen actual change if Rich Bisaccia is still in that position. If you have the same special teams coordinator in that position for multiple years, you're not going to turn your attention to the GM and what they might be doing. You're going to focus on the special teams coordinator. So having a new guy come in, and then if the problem isn't solved, it shines more light on what the potential issue could be. So that's why, again, I'm saying the reason why I'm happy that Rich Bisaccia is stepping down is because now the Packers can focus more on what the true problem is. I am not saying that the Packers are going to immediately, this coming season, be a great special teams team. I don't think that's the case. I'm saying this is a process of finding out what that problem is, and unfortunately, Rich Bisaccia had to be out of the way to truly find what that problem is. The tinfoil hat conversation, and what a lot of you are bringing up here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, is the timing of, okay, I know that you guys wanted him gone. I might have been indifferent, But now I'm really mad because now all the good guys that could have replaced him are gone, and we lost the guy who was waiting in the wings.
The 414 says, I wish he would have stepped down weeks ago before all of the good special teams coordinators were taken. To me, this is the biggest question. It is February 18th. Josh and I, more Josh than me, was losing our minds about why more changes weren't made right away after the season.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was blatantly obvious where the first change coulda, shoulda, woulda happened, and it was this one. Yet John Kuhn and players alike, both previous players that were with Rich Bisaccia and current ones, love the guy.
Yeah.
Players coach. Yet our special teams were what they were. And there are all sorts of different reasons. But nonetheless, a change wasn't made. And yet Rich Bisaccia comes out in a statement yesterday and says, not quoting, I did some reflecting over the last few weeks, and I just think the right thing to do right now is to step down and move on with my life. Okay. What?
Right.
What were you thinking about over the last 2 weeks? Now, that's where we as sports talk radio hosts and we as fans and all of you as fans and you as sports talk radio hosts in your own right on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250, that's where things get weird. 2 weeks of, I wonder what's going on. Now, let's draw some conclusions that we have no way of proving, because that's what we do best.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think there's a chance that Rich Bisaccia was asked what the new plan was going to be because of the performance of certain areas of special teams, and he looked Matt LaFleur square in the eyeball and said, huh? How am I supposed to make Romeo Doubs catch it? How am I supposed to make Brandon McManus make a field goal? What could I have possibly done different to make our special teams be any better, Matt? And Matt could say, well, I don't know, bud, but I'm getting asked that question above me, so you're going to have to figure out what you're going to tell me so I can tell them.
Right.
And he says, how about no?
You know what? Maybe it's time to move on. That absolutely could have been the case. Listen, this is what I'm saying, why I feel like it goes beyond just Rich Bisaccia. Do you remember all of us going, huh? When, wasn't it Josh Jacobs that returned a punt or a kick? And we were going, what is he doing back there? We're questioning the personnel. We're questioning the reasons why these things are happening. I'm well aware that Rich Bisaccia was not the reason why Romeo Doubs couldn't jump on a ball. Rich Bisaccia can't be the one out there. He's not in his head, controlling Dobbs' body. He's not the one making sure that McManus can make a kick. However, who's the one making the decision to put McManus out there if he's not healthy? Who's the one that's deciding to put Josh Jacobs back there to return a kick? And it might just be the fact that Rich Bisaccia is looking at his options given to him from the Packers organization and going, this is the best I can do. What I'm saying is we're still turning our attention to Rich. Now that Rich is gone, you're not going to, within the first season, you're not going to immediately go, well, this guy sucks too. If there's a pattern, you're going to turn your attention to the organization. So either we're going to find out, too, this, as a realist, this is what I love to do. Options are out there. You can play them out in your head. Option one, you're going to realize it was Rich Bisaccia and the special teams is going to get better in the next 2 seasons. Option two, they're going to be just as bad, and you're going to find out that it had nothing to do with Rich Bisaccia, and it had everything to do with the Goody and the personnel and maybe even Matt LaFleur's involvement, because he doesn't talk to kickers, and figuring out who is all a part of this. People are going to be exposed or the problem will be fixed, period. That's what happens next. So I understand you can say it wasn't Rich Bisaccia's fault, and I will say maybe. But if it wasn't, we're going to find out whose it was.
This is why that is 100% right. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line is flooded with feedback. 414-677-1250. And not a single text is a repeat. Not one.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that is engaging with the show of which there are many of you, so grateful, none of you are saying the same thing. Let's just read some of this, Josh.
Yeah.
Let's start at the top. The 414. For me, it was more about situational awareness that the players didn't have on special teams. So let's just try to keep a list. That's situational awareness based on the players. All right.
And it might have been that those players, that wasn't their main focus is special teams. It's also because they're on the field on offense. They're on the field on defense. They're doing other things. Their main focus isn't that. That's not why they were brought on this team.
The 414 then says somebody different. Let's not forget all the blocked field goals in the beginning of the season. Remember the Browns game? Yep, sure do. That was actually a piece of the audio we played at the top of the hour. Andy and Brookfield. Hold on. We got the number one special teams coordinator with Bisaccia. Do we all forget how excited we were to get him? That's why I think our special teams problems come from above the coordinator, because the last three guys also failed.
Now, do you remember why? Go back in your time machine. Do you remember why we were so excited? Andy just mentioned it. Because we paid a guy a lot of money who was the number one special teams guy to come in, because we went, okay, finally. We're not going with some of these other guys we've had. We're paying. The organization is showing we're making special teams a priority by going and paying for the best coach. If that didn't fix the problem, then you need to find out what the problem is.
262. Truly, his coverage schemes weren't the greatest. So it's just not on Dobbs and McManus. Go a little bit further down. Who hired the kicker from the 920? Who hired the guy that dropped the onside kick? Who doesn't have a punter kick returner on the roster? That would be the general manager.
Fair. Super fair argument.
414. Last year was a Super Bowl winning team without the injuries. Yes, we wanted to run it back. So you see what I'm saying? And there's so many more. The list is endless of reasons why a change may or may not have been made. And yet, there is not one fix for special teams. And maybe that's the thing. And I truly, whether you would connect this to my dislike of Matt LaFleur as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, because I was loud that I thought there should have been change. But here's the funny part. Go back to the beginning of the show, and somebody immediately tweeted in, hey, what do you want me to do with this crow I shot the other day? It's in the freezer waiting for you. Well, that's plausible, man. Like, is this the reason the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl?
Was this change?
Right.
Maybe. Probably not.
Well, and I love that that's a thing. And so sometimes maybe the message is change is okay for the sake of change. You don't always have to have a glaring reason for change. There's a plausibility, and this is the likeliest scenario, because listen, unless something in his personal life was happening in the last 2 weeks that led him to want to move on. And honestly, without making any speculation on someone's personal life, because that is not what we do, when his assistant moved on, that was almost a complete given that Rich Bisaccia was going to stay.
Right. We all would have thought that. A few
moments later,
right,
Rich Bisaccia steps down.
Not so
and
much.
As anyone with a brain, we go, what?
Yeah, I mean, this was shocking news. If this was going to happen, we all expected it to happen sooner. And I do think that now there's a little bit of worry about urgency to find the next guy. You can't necessarily look within. You lost the within. You can't look outside for the best talented special teams guy because they've all been scooped up. So essentially, I'm assuming that the Packers are going to go to other organizations for, assistant special teams coordinators to try to promote them to our now special teams coordinator.
This is why the word fan is short for fanatic. The end of the season happens, and all of us are on the rooftops. Not all of us. A lot of us. We're on the rooftops yelling, fire Rich Bisaccia. Then they don't. And we go, okay, fine. Then let's run it back. And now Rich Bisaccia steps down, and we go, now? Now we're going to make a change? Now who are we going to hire?
Right.
You didn't want to do it before. Now there's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I don't know how to be happy.
100%. Aaron Nagler put out a tweet when he retweeted the news, and he said, "There, now you guys can all shut up about it." And plenty of people in the comments said, "No, I don't think I will."
No.
Because
Right.
this is part of it. I will say this though. We've been reading your text. We read your text all season long since the show started about this and complaining about special teams and those type of things, and seeing messages like this one from Jason in Sheboygan, who said Matt has no value in special teams at all. Until he values it, special teams will still be our biggest problem. That was not a text that was coming in mid-season. The text was about Rich Bisaccia. No one was pointing a finger at Matt LaFleur or Brian Gutekunst or the organization at all before 12 hours ago. This was a necessary change.
And look at the last two text messages. Here they come. On the Nicola, what am I trying to say? Nicolay Law. Talk. I'm literally reading on the screen. Nicolay Law. Talking text line. 414-677-1250. Excuse me. Two text messages just came in that are now calling for Mason Crosby to be the Green Bay Packers special teams coach. And if memory serves me right, he was asked that question point blank if he'd be interested. And his answer was,
sure would.
Sure would.
They have my number.
Well, can he pull a Doug Gottlieb and still do a radio show as a coach?
Now here's the question. Do we think that the next special teams coach, whoever they bring in, is that person in the worst situation? Is that person the rebound, the rebound guy, rebound girl to this situation that really going to be very difficult for them to land in a winning situation? Maybe.
Or is this a Craig Counsell situation? Are they talking to somebody else? And they went to Rich and they went, all right, Rich, we got a guy. And we had this conversation with you behind closed doors. And we know that you know that we know that this isn't a thing.
Yeah.
So how do we move on? Because I
know.
think we need change. And we got our guy, but we want to be respectful to you. So why don't you take a couple weeks to think about this, and then you let us know.
Man,
that could be a thing.
Sure could.
Holy buckets. Would you rather Wednesday? Let's do that next. Take a break to have some labs and make you guys think and react on something not so deep. Woo! Would you rather Wednesday? And of course, we have no answers. But here we are.
Now we wait and see.
Could be.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah. Welcome to Wisconsin Sports. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Nicolay Law talk and text line.
There you go.
Nailed it. Packers special teams coordinator and assistant head coach Rich Bisaccia stepped down from his position yesterday.
He did?
Yeah. Well, look at who Sparky's going to chat with this afternoon on Wisconsin Sports Daily. The Packers punter, Daniel Whelan, 4 o'clock here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network with Sparky and Wisconsin Sports Daily. Inside Wisconsin Sports, that's who we are, Trevor and Josh. On a Would You Rather Wednesday, let's lighten the mood a bit, shall we?
Yeah.
Where's your did you take off your tinfoil hat for a hot second here?
Yeah, it's right over here. I still have it close by.
Always within reach.
Yeah, always.
All right, I'm going first.
Yep, go ahead.
It's February. Would you rather have spring rain or spring snow?
No way.
You have the same
I
question?
literally have, would you rather drive in snow or rain?
That's
crazy.
Well, it's a very easy answer, and I'm going to guess we have different answers.
Okay. Mine is snow.
Ooh, mine's snow.
Yeah.
I hate rain in the winter in the worst way.
Yeah, it sucks.
Not only still cold outside, but now there's no water moving anywhere because the ground is still frozen.
And it makes everything muddy.
Mm-hmm.
And people can't drive in rain either. Like they still drive recklessly in rain.
A lot of puddles.
Same with snow. Yep. That's too
All right,
funny.
I'm not sure if I went first there or not. There was another one.
Yeah,
Wisconsin basketball. What the hell was that last night? Would you rather beat the top 10 teams and then poo the bed like we did last night?
Ooh.
Or would you want to keep those top 10 teams close, yet still lose, but win the games you're supposed to?
I think I'd rather win the games against the top 10 teams. I feel like they don't talk about your big losses. They talk about your quad one, whatever it is, wins.
But do those wins matter when you do what you did last night against Ohio State?
To me, it doesn't. But like literally when you on Selection Sunday, when they're talking about why a team got the seeding they did, they show their top wins. They don't show the embarrassing losses. They show the overall record, and then they show here are the big programs they beat that got them to this point. They don't go, but they did have that embarrassing loss against Ohio State. They just don't bring it up. I'm not saying it's not important, but when on Selection Sunday, when whoever makes the decisions are talking about why this team is seated here, they're talking about those wins.
All right, so last night after the game, though, Jason Benetti on FS1 said, a signature win for Ohio State. And I was like, really? They're ranked 24th.
Yeah.
But do signature wins matter more than what I would call signature losses? Because last night was a signature loss.
And that's what I'm saying is that I feel like losses just go towards your overall record. Signature wins are the things that then, when it's close between records and strength of schedule, that then they go, okay, but yeah, this team beat 3 top 10 teams, including who we just decided is a number 1 seed.
Sure.
So that's why I think it's a difference, and I'll take those top 10 wins. Hey, would you rather, as an adult, bring a backpack every day to work or a briefcase every day to work?
Boy, speaking of eating crow, in my younger years, I carried a briefcase when I was in sales.
Yeah.
And then there were salespeople that carried backpacks, and I'm like, get a grip. Yeah, guess who carries a backpack every day now?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a backpack. Backpack.
Yeah, all about backpacks. I feel like the briefcase in general is just kind of like gone out the window. Like even for like the professional suit and tie type people, now there's like, well, let's just make a classy backpack, right? It's not like everyone has Power Rangers and Dora the Explorer backpacks going to work, but it's not the briefcase. Briefcase is gone.
I need a new backpack. Every time I put my backpack down with this giant ass Apple laptop that I bought, which goes on your lap, by the way, I feel it hitting the floor, and I'm like, that's expensive.
Yeah, that's probably not good. You got to get some padding.
The 920. Would you rather have Mason Crosby on a microphone or helping our favorite football team play competent special teams, which this person then goes on to say, in parentheses, I'm torn. I love both.
Yeah.
I don't know that we can answer this one.
That's a really good would you rather. Selfishly, I want him to stay on the radio.
And selfishly, I want him to be the special teams coordinator.
Perfect.
His radio job doesn't impact me, although I love him on the radio here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. But his special teams job impacts my life a lot.
Yeah.
And if he's the answer, then so be it. What about a satchel?
Ooh.
That's a good tweener.
Yeah, are satchels in? I don't know.
They are. It's weird. I think they're purses. Breakfast, Josh.
Yeah.
Would you rather bacon and eggs or sausage and pancakes?
Ooh. Bacon and pancakes.
You can't.
I know.
Damn it.
What kind of eggs?
Yes.
Okay.
Chicken?
Fair. Oh man, I love pancakes. I'm gonna go with pancakes. Give me pancakes and sausage.
I'm bacon and eggs all day.
Yeah.
Every day for morning, noon, and night.
Yeah.
I love those restaurants that serve breakfast all day.
Oh, 100%.
That's my jam.
Yeah.
Nicolay and DePere.
Okay. Hey, would you rather have the defense for the Packers get better over the offseason or the special teams get better over the offseason?
Well, if our defense is really good, special teams doesn't make as much of a point.
Okay. I find it so funny. I love this question because I'm with you, right? Like it's way more important to me that they replace Rashawn Gary, they get another beast in there on the other side of Micah Parsons, and we just saw what happened with Seattle and just how a defense can completely change the outcome of everything. And yet here we are going, they need to fix the special teams.
Yeah. What's making your head spin like poltergeist? Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah, right.
Completely forgetting that Micah Parsons is coming off of an ACL there.
And then immediately defense is more important, but.
All right, JB in the 920 makes a good point here. As much as I love Mason, how many former kickers are special teams coaches? JB, why don't you look it up and let us know? Because we don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. Also, how many of them are Mason Crosby? Boom.
Yeah.
Lawyered. Hey, I got another one for you, and this one is Charlie, who produces Wisconsin Sports Daily with Sparky. We were talking about this yesterday, and he couldn't understand where I was coming from at all. So let's see where you answer this.
Right.
Would you rather celebrate someone winning a bronze medal match or losing a gold medal match?
Well, but you still get a silver medal.
Correct.
Boy, why is that weird? That's weird.
Uh-huh.
I think it's, oh my God, that's weird. I don't know. I think silver. Well, no, because bronze won. I think bronze.
Right? But silver's better than bronze.
Yeah, but look at the podium. So that's what I'm trying to picture in my head. The podium. There are two happy people and one pissed off person. You tell me who's more approachable and wants to celebrate. I think I'd rather go to the bar with the person that won the bronze than try to talk the person going into the bar that has the silver medal.
Charlie could not understand. This is what I'm saying. I'm like, I understand that silver is better than bronze, but you ended on a winner. You found yourself in a match where it was either I get a medal or I don't, and you won. Yeah. If you're in that gold medal match and you end up with silver, you lost. You lose. You did not get first. Even though you got second, you're better than the person holding the bronze medal, right? Like by all accounts, you earned that spot in that gold medal match, but you lost. The last thing that you could do, you lost. Now it's different if it's an event where it's not like a head-to-head matchup, right? So if it's like not curling or hockey or one of these type of events, then it's just like based on overall time or, a score. Those, sure, silver's better than bronze. But in specific matchups, I'm celebrating the bronze more than I am the silver.
That question did things to my brain I did not like. That really
Trust me,
made
I had a lot of people going, you're crazy. Why are you more happy about bronze than silver? And I'm going,
they won.
Because they won. And we saw a lot. The reason why this came up yesterday is because yesterday in the Olympics, the U.S. got a lot of silvers. They got a lot of silvers. It was, hey, another medal for the U.S., a silver medal. And I'm going, so they lost.
And somewhere, someone with a silver medal is listening going, you guys are stupid.
Right. You haven't done jack. Right. And they are correct.
More Would You Rather when we get back. Plus, we'll preview our chat with Doug Gottlieb coming up at the top of the hour. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Wisconsin, remember, if you miss any portion of the show, head to the podcast land and type in Inside Wisconsin Sports. There you'll find all of the shows that you missed, all the segments, all the hours, all the everything. It's also at wisportsradio.com, where you can search on social media and find video live of Josh and I on YouTube and Twitter. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Josh, Trevor, and so many of your messages going, silver medal.
Yeah. This is one of our favorite things about doing Would You Rather, is that we get to then get your guys' reaction and your thoughts on what you would choose. 920 saying silver is definitely the worst medal to win. When you say it out loud, you sound crazy.
Yep.
But
do you have one?
But that's what I'm saying. If it's a match play situation, I'm with you. It's just kind of crazy.
Realistic question here. Did you ever win a gold medal in anything? I'm talking like forensics or
yes.
Like you did.
Yes.
Did you ever win a silver?
No.
I did. It sucks.
Yeah, because you knew you could have had gold. Right?
Well, and I had already won gold the year before. And then I won silver the last year. And I was like, mother.
I was part of this event. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the organization, but where you represented the United States in like an international youth sports program. And I went to Holland and I bowled over there. And I took third place in it, right? I won bronze. And it was an amazing experience. People were chanting.
You in a bronze medal match?
Yes, it was match play.
Finished third.
Nope, it was match play. And people were chanting USA, USA, talking about me. I mean, it was a very, very cool experience to have. When they announced the winners and they gave us the medals and trophies and whatever, like I was more pumped up and excited on that podium, on that stage for third place than second or first. Like they would have thought I won the whole damn thing. But it was because I was that close to not getting there. That's the beauty of that bronze medal match.
The 920, do you think Doug Gottlieb would rather see better officiating in the Horizon League or have a Crest Center sellout? Hashtag I love having DG as our head coach.
Yeah.
We might ask him that, but we got bigger fish to fry coming up at 8 a.m. Just a matter of moments, Doug Gottlieb joins us.
I want to also give a shout out to the 317 here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, who said the NCAA puts teams in quads. Good teams are quad 1, so those wins count more. Ohio State is quad 2, so the loss doesn't hurt as much. That in reference to your question about would you rather not have the losses to a team that you should beat or the wins against teams that were top 10.
And somebody texted in, if you're not first, you're last. Might as well be a participation award. Well, that's not true either.
Right.
It's second. And it's silver. What's your first question for Doug?
How you doing?
How are things? It's literally what I'm going to say.
I know.
So how are things?
All right, let's just, floor is yours. How you doing, bud?
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, the guy that made the biggest news in the entire country in the sports world. Doug Gottlieb joins us next. Stay here. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
All we ask is that there's a fair game. That's what we ask. Okay, CJ O'Hara goes and gets an offensive rebound. Their player dives at his legs. CJ gets called for a foul. I need Donnie at the league and the new commissioner to explain to me the disparity in the officiating. That's what I need explained to me. I got no problem with their team, their staff. They played hard. They did what they do. They play tough and they play aggressive. I need somebody to explain to me, okay, how just those two. There's others that I have massive issues with, okay? Others that have matched, including every time we touched them, there was a foul in the second half. The last play of the game, just to get the ball, they're grabbing us and holding us. Okay, and I understand if you're not calling that, that's fine. You had the exact same play at both ends in the last play of the game. The exact same play. The exact same play.
Head coach of the University of Wisconsin Green Bay men's basketball team, Doug Gottlieb, having what the kids call a crash out over the weekend. Good news, he talked to Donnie in the league. Maybe bad news, he talked to Donnie in the league?
No, now he talks to us.
We don't know, but we're about to find out. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Friend of the program, happy Wednesday, Doug Gottlieb.
Happy Wednesday, boys. Okay, so a crash out, and this is from AI, right? Is a slang for experience a sudden, uncontrollable emotional outburst, meltdown, or fit of rage following intense stress, burnout, or frustration.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
The crash out.
Yeah, I feel like a crash out is like a complete meltdown that you have to recover from. And I do think some of it fits. It was an outburst. It was after frustration, but it wasn't like I was melted down the rest of the day or life or whatever. I'm still mad, but I'm mad at myself. I got to be better as a coach. We're upset at our defense, which we felt like was really good for the first 20 minutes. And then there were times in which it was good in the second half. There were times in which we gave up straight line drives. We stayed too long in help and gave up open shots on the weak side of Chandler Jackson. But I'm more upset at our lack of offensive execution down the stretch and, timeouts I could have called and adjustments we could have made than I am about. I don't know if I'm over the officiating thing, but it's something that you really can't control. And I think that's when you get more frustrated, is when you think like you can control it and you can manipulate it. And I don't know, but I do think a crash out generally is like you boop boop, right? And I was mad, but I wasn't boop boop at the end. I wasn't defeated at the end of it. I was mad because we should have swept Milwaukee. That was really mad. And considering how our program, how I was perceived, how they're perceived, all perceptions in state, that would have been gigantic. And we didn't close the deal. And that's on me as head coach. And I specifically need to be better.
Well, you shared that you were mad at the officiating and said that you need some explanation. The question everybody wants an answer to is the Horizon League mad at you?
Yeah, but it's you can't air frustrations publicly about officiating. That's it. Can't do it. So I was wrong. Can't do it.
Did they give you any feedback as to the results of that?
No, I'll find out today.
Okay, so you don't know anything.
No, I don't know anything in general, and I don't know anything in regards to this topic either.
All right.
But yeah,
I wasn't sure if
like,
you got
look,
handcuffs put
the
on you.
crazy thing about Donnie's the former official who's the coordinator officials for the league. And there's a couple different layers to it. And the first part is, it's just a little inside baseball, but his job is like, do you know the worst job in America is? Have we discussed this, Trevor?
No, I don't think so.
Worst job in America, Josh, I think you can attest to this, is the person who works in that little small, they don't have it at GRB, and I don't know if they have it at Appleton, but they have it at major airports. The baggage claim office for any airline.
No one goes in there to say thank you.
No one goes in there and goes, hey, Dad, got my bag. Thanks. You're doing great.
You're awesome.
Right? No one ever goes in there in a good mood. No one comes in and goes, hey, dude, listen, lost my bag. It's a good day. Okay. And we take out all of our frustration on that person. Like they were just typing they were just on Facebook and playing solitaire, and somebody walked in. They had nothing to do with it. Donnie's job with the league as coordinator officials is much the same. I do think I'm the only one who's called him and go, hey, Donnie. He's like, what? I thought they were pretty good, just kind of to mess with him. So his job is a tough one. No one ever calls him and says, or outside of me, and says the guys were good. I think Trevor knows, like, look, man, I'm a work in progress. Okay, I got to be better with my timeouts. I got to be better with my with overthinking things, underthinking things, whatever. But sideline decorum is something I've worked really hard on, and I still mutter, and I have a good, healthy, maybe unhealthy relationship with the F word. And that comes from my staff, because they just have potty mouths. But I've been really, really good and on it as of late, not just with the refs, but also with my team. And I don't think I emotionally reacted well to the technical foul, mostly because I know I didn't violate any of the tenets all the things that get you. And I wasn't warned beforehand. It wasn't like, and that was the thing I talked to Donnie about. Like, Donnie, when they call you, do they say, hey, Gottlieb's a pain in the ass? They said, no, quite the opposite. I was like, well, this should earn me some equity, in that I didn't crash out after the Robert Morris play. I've been offered plenty of times from you guys, you and Trevor, you and Kyle, you guys like to stoke the fire when we get our butts beat. What'd you think of the officiating? I
can see it.
But yeah, but honestly, I'm not a complainer. I don't go like, but when there's a definitive right and wrong, and I wasn't offered an explanation, and it wasn't the, hey, we missed one. Like, hey, we missed one is also a fair thing to say. They are human beings. They're not going to get everyone right. I lost my cool, but I don't think I lost my cool often on the sidelines this year, especially over the last 10, 12 games or so. So my just thing is like, hey, we don't get any positive equity for all the things we've done, just because, I had a crash out, if you will, after a tough loss in which I was frustrated. I don't know the answer to that one. So I totally understand somebody's look. We all make perceptions of people, and Trevor sat there, and he sat there during some tough ones. This year, you sat there during a loss where we weren't very good, and I was really frustrated. And I really went back after that game and watched the tape, and I was like, my frustration was visible. I got to be better.
Stool game, man.
Huh?
It was the stool game.
Remember when you used the force?
That was the one that's the one you're talking about early in the season when you.
No, I was talking about Cleveland State, I think. I thought you were there for Cleveland State or something.
I was there. I've been there for all of them except for Bradley.
No, but which one did you sit right next to the bench?
Oh.
You took Shannon Seach.
I don't know. I didn't think you weren't that bad that game.
No, I wasn't.
Comfortable relationship with the F word, but not that bad.
It's such a good word.
It is a good word.
It's a really good word.
Say it. Don't say it now either.
It's such a good word. It's a good word. Because you can use it for positive, you can use it for negative, adjectives. You can use it all over the place.
Yeah. Not from 6 to 9 a.m. Yeah.
Anyway, my point is that I know that there are people who don't know me
they carry in baggage of perception of who I am, what I'm saying. I mean, generally, start of every game, I tell every official, if if they say anything to you, you tell me, we'll get them out of the game. Our guys are told that's not their job. That's my job. Your job is to play. My job is to handle them. And then my staff is pretty boisterous and they get into it, but even they know, like, hey, it's got to be about me. And I've always taken the, they're going to do right, they're going to do wrong. It's always going to come to balance at the end of the day. I got triggered, if you will. I think I got triggered. Are we using another Gen Z word there? Because trigger is definitely like, nobody used the word trigger.
Come from Gen X, I can tell you that.
Yeah, no one uses trigger anymore.
That's like last 6 years, that's become a word. So I was triggered, and then I had a little crash out at the end. And I was apologetic for it. I'll find out the ruling later today.
Doug, I got to be honest with you. It definitely seems like,
be dishonest with me, Josh.
No,
like
that's what I do all the other times. This time I'm going to be honest with you. It seems like there was some humble pie that you've enjoyed, that you took some time, but everyone was behind you, man. Like,
it doesn't matter, Josh. Honestly, it doesn't matter. And I can tell you this way. No, I can tell you this way, okay? Because, and I'm actually big on this. When I was an AAU coach, we had the same rule, like, you don't say anything to them. And when they'd get bad, I would call my kids in and be like, look, they're making 20 an hour or 20 a game. Like, really, are you really gonna, like, just play? But it doesn't matter. It's like you can call somebody out and say something that didn't feel right or whatever. That's not the form. That's not the way it's done. It's not the protocol of the league. In any league, the Horizon League is no different. And then because of my name and because of the platform that I've been on, different platforms I've been on for years, it makes anything I say multiply by 10. Earlier in the last week, and I'd like to talk about this at some point, the Thursday night game was great and all the vibes were wonderful. And the post-game press conferences, they got multiplied 50 times over, as I said they would once we started winning. So, with that comes power. But if you use that power in the wrong way, it makes the league look bad. That wasn't my intent, but it doesn't matter intent. It matters sometimes outcome.
Yeah, I will say, though, that there was something for the culture. I mean, you had people that were fans of UW Milwaukee that were on your side that were saying, yeah, I mean, they got robbed there. There were, plenty of people that were just saying, this is Doug helping put UWGB on the map, doing things more for the program, letting people know, having people say, where's this clip? I want to see this, agreeing with you. I'm not saying necessarily that I'm saying, yeah, you should continue to, quote unquote, crash out or whatever. But that specific moment, you had a lot of people, at least on social media, kind of saying, like, good for you, Doug. Good for you on stating your case and specifically into regards to this game and the way it was officiated.
Yeah, it's a hard one, right? It's like the technical foul. There's video of it, obviously, from the game. I have the audio.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
Not sure. He's frozen on our end.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Sorry, DG, you're back.
Yeah.
You're back.
Somebody not wanting this. So I know about the technical foul. I was right. But again, it doesn't matter if you're right. It's not the point. The point is you can't call out officials, to the media. You just can't do it. Because again, let's look at the opposite way. Like, what if one of them would have gone like, hey, next to last possession, he should have called timeout. They would have gotten a better shot. Because he would have been right.
As we were coming into, as I stepped out of the studio, and there's a huge GB fan that's on another radio station here in Green Bay. Yeah. And he said, you better call him out on not using a timeout. I'm like, well,
we had talked about it. Honestly, we the things we prep for are end of game execution, and we have, based upon personnel, different things we're going to run. And we came back to 2 looks that I had looked at earlier. I had other things I should have run. You kick yourselves over. I should have called timeout, no question. My thought on calling timeout was, would he be able to adjust his personnel? Because he had kind of first possession, he had an offensive lineup in. Then the second possession, he had a different lineup in because they had gotten to the free throw line. He had subbed. But, again, you think 50 times over. There's no question I should have called. Now, last possession, I was okay with. I didn't like my play call, nor did we get the execution that we had discussed during the previous timeout. But the next to last one, when we had a chance for a 2-for-1, we ended up scoring on the OB. But I definitely should have used one mid-second half, maybe during that run, bought us an extra couple minutes of a break. But to your point, Josh, I appreciate that. I mean, look, there wasn't, how many people did they say were there?
That's a good question. I did see
They
it.
said over 4,000.
4,000 something,
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Los Angeles, right? They used to joke about the Clippers, whoever counted the seats for Clippers. Like, I don't think there were 4,000 there. But regardless of which.
They were in the bathroom. A lot of people in the bathroom.
Regardless of which, I do think that the point that you made is a good one. There was a lot of GB there. We had to buy tickets because so many people were coming down to the game. Our program is back. It's not where it needs to be or it's supposed to be, but it's back. It's relevant, and we also have fighters. Like I say this all the time. We only want players that want to be in Green Bay. You gotta want to be here. Not it's by choice. And with that comes a certain toughness, a certain us against the world. And we do feel like it's us against the world. And I think that's what the support that we have from our boosters is. They appreciate the fact that we have fighters. We had fighters last year. We just weren't good enough. And we're still not very good this year, but we have fighters. And we only play the kids that will fight for wins. And when I get frustrated is when our guys, I think, don't fight as hard as they need to defensively, which we didn't in the second half. In addition to my own coaching errors, which need to be cleaned up. But that's right. That's I think where that comes from. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, buddy. I was just resetting quick. Doug Gottlieb, head coach, UWGB men's basketball, inside Wisconsin sports. You fought your ass off against Fort Wayne just a few days before all of this went down, and it was the best game of your coaching career. So what went so right in that? And by the way, #radio teaser. I do want to ask you about UWM's rivalry and what that looks like. We'll probably do that in the next segment. And then I also want to know, don't answer this now, what your expectations are coming out of that meeting yesterday. But first, let's talk about some positive stuff.
Okay.
Take us to that Fort Wayne game. How awesome was that?
Belt to ass. It was great. It was great. It was one of those, it really is the juxtaposition of last year. Last year's game against them at home was a mess, right? We had to move the game time first because of the Packers-Vikings game. Then we got a pretty good crowd at the Resch. Then the power won't go on. Then we come back and we play them at home. Then they just mollywump us. And we were up like 13-2, and then they just mollywump it. And we just could not guard them, And then we play at their place, and there was, again, I'm not going to get in trouble. There were some other elements that didn't help us in that game, but it was also belt ass. We couldn't stop them from, and then they had Jackson. I mean, they were good. So when we beat them at their place, we felt like, man, we couldn't be this much better than them. We couldn't guard them this well. It's January 1st. They must have all gone out drinking and not taking us seriously. And, they'd been playing better, and they came into our place, and our guys just guarded. They just really, really guarded. And it wasn't all perfect, but it was pretty close to in terms of how your game plan is, your plan A, your plan B, your plan C. That plan A was great. I mean, we got 2 30-second shot clock violations in the first 4 minutes of the game. 2. And again, the juxtaposition of last year in any conversation and any data provided of worst defensive teams in college basketball against a high-powered offense with 4 guys that can really, really score. And we got 2. So, yeah, that was awesome. It was on national TV. Guys played great. Execution was good. Cutting was good. Finishing was good. Free throw shooting was good. And they were never really in the game. Like I haven't coached a game against a D1 opponent that's been like that before ever, where they were never in single digits after midway through the second half. Like it was over, and we didn't let them ever think it wasn't over. So they hit us three to start the second half. They kind of manipulated we call it our Reaper man, who's under the basket. Marcus hit a three, and Justin did make the adjustment. Next time we come down, we execute, we get to the free throw line. I look at the film, we tell them the adjustment. The guys adjusted on the fly, and they never got it again. They kept trying to adjust to what we were doing, and they couldn't score against it. So, I could not have been any prouder of our overall effort and how we looked on national TV and what it looks like to have 2,500 in the Crest. And when we get 3,500 in the Crest, it's going to be even better.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with Doug Gottlieb, get to the rest of the conversation, and find out what he thinks may or may not happen out of the results from the weekend and his meeting yesterday with the Horizon League. Back in just a bit, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We're back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Doug Gottlieb, another segment, head coach UWGB men's basketball. Josh, the rivalry.
Yeah, so Doug, obviously, he had two exciting games against UW Milwaukee this year. Where through all of this and it getting national media attention because of the quote unquote not a crash out, where is the rivalry sit in your mind now between UWGB and UW Milwaukee?
I as much as I have done my best to study the history of the two schools and having played a unique part by my dad being a coach of Milwaukee when I was born and being the coach of Green Bay, I don't know when the last time it was really good, but I think it's going to be really good, And again, just as the league puts together their schedule, I would say we need to, whenever we do it, because there is the possibility of Bart offered up the possibility of playing the first game there, only at Fiserv they would have played before. I think they did end up playing somebody before. Did Wisconsin play Villanova? Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think when Wisconsin played Villanova, they played like the preliminary game, and he screwed up the dates when he texted me. He thought it was November 19th and it was December 19th or whatever. Anyway, the point is that we need this to work and to be good, and for both schools, more so even than the league, right? Because the point that I made about the game Thursday and about Green Bay is we're at one of, I would say, the few schools that people legitimately care, right? Care. I mean, if you're just honest with yourself, that's the difference between us and the Valley, us and the MAC. Okay, the MAC has more money at the top, some of that football money. The Valley has a little bit more money, but what they both have is they have that money, some of it from what they're able to build with their home court advantage. They play more home games, so they have better records. They put more people in the seats, so they make more money. They make more money, they buy better players, et cetera, et cetera. It all factors in. So we need stands to be full. And the best opportunity in this league is
what?
Doug's Wi-Fi sucks today.
Yeah.
We have not. Now, I don't know. It's the Gremlins. The Gremlins are doing it. I don't know. Anyway, point is, I don't want to say if it's back because I don't know if it was ever great, but I think it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good.
I agree.
I love that. We want it to be really good too.
How awesome was it? Like we probably had 1,000 people there. There were Green Bay people there. I may be over exaggerating, but then again, they were over exaggerating with the 4,000 whatever people that were there.
No.
There was a healthy amount of people, and that's where I'm disappointed myself. Like we're better coached than I coached on Saturday. I got to be better in those games and the games. That's what we do best. So, but yeah, to answer your question, again, I'm excited. We want to play them again. We got to win some games. We want to get a home game in the playoffs. We love to play them again. It's great when two teams don't particularly like each other, want to win, and fans actually care. That's what this thing's about.
So, Doug, you mentioned to us at the top when you joined us in the first segment that you're waiting for a ruling from the Horizon League. What does that mean? Have they given you any indication as to what the ruling could be, or are you just kind of sitting in the dark on this?
No, I think there's two possibilities. One is a public reprimand. The other one would be a game suspension. So, don't know which it's going to be. Obviously, I'd like to coach against Oakland. But it's out of my hands. Christine Newman is the interim commissioner of the league because we're in a transition phase. So we had a hearing yesterday. You get a chance to speak your mind, provide any video, audio evidence, first person witness, whatever. Josh Moon was with me. So yeah, that's basically it. You just kind of wait, and whatever they feel like is in the best interest of the league, that's what they do.
Have you talked to the referee that gave you the tee? Because I know you had mentioned in your presser that he kind of ignored you. Do you guys connect on that?
No. No. It wasn't like, here's how it works on the sidelines. And because you've been close to the sidelines, is there's usually like an ongoing sort of conversation. Now, he wasn't the referee. There's no, and you're like, wait, they're all referees. Like, no, in terms of, there's one guy that's like he's the Sergeant Holka, right? The big toe. There's one referee there, and they're supposed to like calm you down, bring you over, tell you what your guys are doing. Hey, tell your guys not to do this, tell your guys not to do this, whatever. There was just an eerie lack of conversation and communication the last 7 minutes of that game. And I also understand how it works with technical fouls. Sometimes it's a culmination of like, I told you that's enough. One more thing. But there was none of that because we weren't on them the whole game. We weren't riding them. So I just thought that it all you got to do is send somebody over and be like, Coach, you said this. Coach, you did that. And I would have said, you're mistaken, but now you owe me one. Something like
Just
that.
like that, I bet.
Yeah.
Just like that. You're mistaken.
No, I would have said,
excuse me.
Well, if it wasn't him, like, what is he supposed to do? It's not reviewable. Yeah. I don't know. So no, I have not spoken with the official, but I'm not, again, and I'm wired totally different than most people. I'm not going to carry animus against official when they had a bad day, or I thought you had a bad day, or you made a couple bad calls, right? I don't operate that way. Now, if it continues and it's on, I'm like, well, hold on. Do we have some personal problem? But I don't. I'm mad. But I'm more mad at myself and mad at my team than anything else.
Doug, I wanted to ask you, as we were waiting for you to join us today, last night, some news in the Big Ten. The UCLA men's basketball head coach, Mick Cronin, first of all, pulled his own player off the court, sent him to the locker room. Everyone's talking about technical fouls. He kind of gave his own player one at the end of the game. He said, no, get out of here.
The player got one, right? Did he get a tech, or did he get an intentional? And then he stared the guy down like he wanted to fight?
Correct. And then Mick came out there, literally grabbed him and pushed him to get out. You go now, not to the bench, literally to the locker room. But the bigger thing that came out of that was after the game, when Mick Cronin was asked by some reporter about the fans, the Michigan State fans at the crowd. This is how that went. I want to get your opinion.
What was your thoughts in the student section chanting Booker's name?
I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I just meant the overall, the way that you
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
Did you like
you should take it.
The preparation of the
you really think I care about the other
No, I don't think you care about the other
Are you raising your voice at me?
No, I'm
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Come on, dude.
No reason.
Come on. Yes, you are. Everybody's standing here listening to you. Everybody. This is on camera. They can hear you. I answered the question. I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section. I coach UCLA. I don't care about Michigan State students. I mean, who cares?
Now, I'm just thinking, I know that after games, Trevor Thomas is there and he asks you some questions. And I'm thinking there might be some times where Doug Gottlieb wants to say, I would like to give you an award for the dumbest question I've ever been asked after a game.
No, Kyle asked one. After the
yeah, shout out Kyle. Okay.
What was it? No, about the Fort Wayne. No, Wright State.
Yeah.
How are the guys in the locker room? And I said they're doing.
I know he's listening.
They're doing somersaults, Kyle.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I mean, look again. Like Mick's one of one now. He's decided that post-game pressers are his show, but he's also coaching the Final Four. He's, he won at Murray, he won at Cincinnati, he's won at UCLA. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was on one. And I actually would support him about the sending. Trevor knows we sent somebody to the locker room last year. Like we don't want you sitting on the bench representing our school if you're gonna act like that. So
crash out.
Yeah, crash out.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, look, Hoiberg had some phone stuck in his face and he smacked it away when they lost to Iowa last night. Like, think about this world in college basketball. We've gotten to the place where Iowa is storming the court after beating Nebraska in basketball. Like, wow, that's where we are. So what's the question in regards to a dumb question?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like you also as a college basketball head coach. And because for me, not knowing the situation, just watching that as a casual fan and seeing it, I don't know who that reporter was, what he was reporting for. It could have been the student paper. I don't know. But
No,
he
it wasn't.
like
I think it was. I don't think it was Ben Blotch who does it for the LA Times. I don't know who it was. Look, again, this is part of my mistake with after Sunday's game. It's like, 15 minutes of nonsense of answering questions, and then don't say what you really want to say. Just take a breath, and good Lord willing, things will work out. I don't know why he's like, you're raising your voice to me. Like, come on, Mick. Mick's been on one all year. He's just been on one all year. And
Kyle Malzahn from Channel 5 just texted me, Doug, and goes, win some, lose some.
No, yeah, that's the answers we're gonna have to give: win some, lose some. But no, he knew it when he asked it. It came out, and here's the unique thing about me: like, I've been that guy. Now I try not to ask questions I try to ask really good questions, but you can't interview. I think I did this right. I interviewed at minimum, right? I was doing a 3-hour show for at minimum 3 interviews a day. Yeah, 3 interviews a day, 230 shows a year. You do the math. There's been some dumb questions I've asked. So I do have a lot of empathy for asking a question that doesn't come out right. I actually get more bothered when people try and ask you questions and try and like sound smarter and really explain like they know. Like, just ask the question, Sure. And Trevor gets apologetic. He's like, I don't want to ask you about this, but why didn't you call a timeout there? Like, I don't know.
I believe what I said was, what was your strategy? That was my way of saying, did you seriously just eat 3 timeouts?
I did.
Now see? Now, did you see how this is called growth? This is growth. Doug took a second and said, I did. Instead of going at Trevor.
Take a screenshot of that. He's frozen again on our end, and it's the worst. Like, nobody looks good on pause.
It's so
John
good.
Anderson taught me that from ESPN.
So, Doug, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's a great answer. I just thought it was an interesting point awesome. As someone else that was a head coach.
Oh, is he back?
There we go. Sorry.
Back. Okay.
There we go.
Know. We got you, buddy.
I don't know.
All right. So thanks. That was very kind of you.
Oh, brilliant.
Where are we now? What did I miss?
We were talking about timeouts. We're gonna move on. So
don't worry about it. I gotta be better.
We only got a few minutes left with you. We wanted to make sure you knew there are so many people on our Nicolay Law talk-in text line, 414-677-1250, that are, I believe in you, Coach. I'm proud of you, Doug. We're behind you, Coach. I was there. No way there was 400 or 4,000 people there. I loved that Doug is so transparent. I'm paraphrasing. And then Garrett in Tomahawk said, am I becoming a UWGB fan? Like,
oh, yeah, you are. Get your ass to the
There's
crest.
a lot of people that are support. So that's where I was going with this. There's one more home game. You're at Oakland on Friday, at Detroit Mercy on this Sunday.
Yeah.
And then Youngstown State comes back on the 28th at 1 p.m. So my challenge to everybody listening that wants to have Doug's back, fill the Crest Center on the 28th.
But I don't want you to fill it for me. I want you to fill it for Preston Rudinger. Mike is a stud. And I don't know if you guys played the comments, but again, you want transparency, here's transparency. He was making a little bit last year, really, you're talking about the type of money where you can take your girlfriend out to eat once a week. That's about it. So when he told me he was coming back, we didn't discuss anything financial. And so once I got most of my roster settled, I called him, and he was walking into a Brewers game with his dad, Dennis, who's a stud, by the way. And I was like, hey, tell Dennis, keep his wallet in his pocket. You got him tonight. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, here's what I'm going to pay you this year. And he's like, hey, that's great. But listen, I don't, if you need extra money, like I'll take nothing or what you gave me last year, whatever, just build a team. And he had said before, I don't care if I play a minute or if I play 40 minutes. I just want to win for Green Bay. I want this program to be back. And that's my only goal. And he's done it. You know, we're not great. We feel like there are two that we definitely should have had, and we'd be in a way better place in conference stuff. We, you know, if we're honest with ourselves, we probably got one we maybe shouldn't have gotten. So it's the cosmic kind of balancing act of where we are and where we're supposed to be. But Preston Rudinger is what Green Bay and the Fox Valleys are about, right? From here, about here, you know, I'm not putting any pressure on him, but probably going to marry a girl, you know, going to marry a girl he met here, right? And, you know, he'll live here, he'll coach here, he'll be here, right? This is what
Dr. Gottlieb? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I mean, like they're really, we have, like, all my guys are the nicest kids ever, and they have these really nice girlfriends, and we mess with them all the time. And I told them, like, we went down there and stayed the night in Milwaukee, and I was like, hey, think about how much money your coach saved you. Didn't have to take her to Valentine's dinner, and it's all my fault, not your fault, right? I'm your boy, okay? Remember that.
Brilliant. I love it.
Freezy McFreezerson this week.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
We might get him back. Doug. We might not. Doug Gottlieb, UWGB,
there we go.
men's basketball head coach.
All
right, we got you back.
Sorry.
I don't know either. All right.
So anyway, he is what we're supposed to be about. Green Bay, college basketball, 4-point student, going to get his master's, whole thing. So on the 28th, show up for him and for the kids. And I think you'll have a good time. And by the way, they whooped our ass last time, making 16 out of 29 threes. So we got to figure out how to defend the 3-point line if we want to beat them. But
yeah,
there it is. I think it just might be it, and that's okay. All right, Doug Gottlieb, Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. DJ, you're back. We love you. Happy Wednesday. You keep freezing, and we got to go anyway, buddy. We hope everybody and their mother shows up on the 28th. Thanks for everything today, the transparency, sharing the news with us, and all the best today.
Quick question. Born in Wisconsin, not necessarily raised in Wisconsin, right? Okay. Are we done with winter?
Nope.
No.
Not even close.
But it's like 50. It rained.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure we're not done?
No.
February 18th.
Is this like a no-hitter thing where nobody's allowed to say it's done?
No.
But really, wink, wink.
No, you just know there's going to be a day.
You just know that's, you'll learn. We're nowhere near done, but boy, was that a fun little hint as to what's to come. But you just over under today. 6 inches of snow, Josh, between now and when winter's actually done. Over 6. Yeah, we're going to get snow.
In Green Bay?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
In one sitting, we'll get like a 6 inches, or it'll be like cumulative inches.
There's always, everything always, nothing never. There's mainly always a spring snowstorm that is going to dump 6 to 8, 9 inches of snow, something like that. And it's between now and April. It's going to happen.
Yeah. But get the shorts out. Enjoy today.
Yeah. Turn around. See that bay? It's frozen. We got a minute.
It is. The top layer is kind of smushy, but I guess there's like, still 20 inches deep there. So guys are still driving up and down on it. Like, no, thank you.
Don't do that.
Nope, not doing it. Definitely not doing it now.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Thanks, Doug.
Doug Gottlieb. February 28th. Get to the Crest Center. Thanks for all the texts. We did our best to share your feedback with Doug and your support. Forgive us for paraphrasing. That just is based on time and apparently Doug's internet connection today. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. We'll wrap up when we get back. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh. Rami Maklaw from 9 to noon joins us. Hey, Rami, good luck today on the show. John Kuhn is going to be pissed that Rich Bisaccia is no longer here. So all the best on that.
He is distraught. In tears. We will start the show with a crying John Kuhn.
If you missed anything on the show today, hit up the podcast. Inside Wisconsin Sports, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, at wisportsradio.com as well. Our thanks to Doug Gottlieb for joining us for a few segments. Make sure to seek that out later and see if you learned anything. Rami, in the break, can I share? I should have asked you this before we came on the air, so no, it's fine. But what did I say? Rami, Tommy, what did I say?
No, you said Rami.
You said Rami.
Yeah,
okay.
Perfect timing.
Doug Gottlieb.
Yeah. You guys have made him likable, and I didn't. That was not a thing for me before he started joining you guys on Wednesdays.
And it's really, you're not alone in that camp, man.
Yeah, but and this isn't me. That to me is the sign of a good interviewer. You know what I mean? Like when there are people who Howard Stern. I'm a big Howard Stern guy. He'll have people on his show who I never cared about, even disliked, and by the end of the interview, I'm like, this is a really good person. Like this is somebody I could hang out with. You know what I mean? We see like the surface most of the time with public figures, and like a good interviewer, especially if you have a regular like weekly guest, you bring out the human being.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Great feedback, man.
Thank you.
All right. Wisconsin, we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for all the text messages, the comments, and the engagement. It was another amazing show, and it's because of you guys. We really appreciate it. We're inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and we will see you tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.